How's it, everyone? Welcome to my channel, OpenCourt. Today we're going to be taking a look at the newest racket in the head lineup, the Head Boom. Let's check it out. So I got both the Head MP Boom here and the Pro Boom here. So let's take a quick look at some of the new technology that the Boom has to offer. The first new technology that this racket has to offer is something called Racket Technology. I hope I pronounced that correctly. According to what I've read online, it is used in high performance cycling, but for you tennis players out there, more importantly, what it actually is supposed to do is supposed to keep a nice consistent feel along the entire hoop of the racket, meaning wherever you hit the ball, it's going to still have that same consistent feel like you're still hitting the sweet spot. The second and probably more important technology or innovation that this racket has is, if you take a look at the shape of the racket head, you'll notice that it's not a traditional ovular shape. You'll notice that right around here, around the 2 and 10 o'clock position, it's pushed out wider this way. This is what Head calls the morph beam technology, and by having the racket wider up here at 10 and 2, it actually spreads the sweet spot out towards this way. So what that means that for most tennis players, the shot that they hit the most are their ground strokes. And when you hit a ground stroke, your racket will actually be pointing sideways this way, and most players don't hit off center towards the head or towards the throw here. Most players hit off center either too high or too low this way. So by having the sweet spot extended out towards the sides, it actually allows players to still hit the sweet spot even if they hit slightly high or slightly low in the string breadth. Although this racket doesn't say it in the name, they still apparently use the Head Graphene 360 Plus technology. So it has graphene in the hoop to improve stability and feel. And what the plus is in the Graphene 360 Plus is that they have what they call spiral fibers in the shoulders of the racket here, and that's supposed to help improve touch and feel. So for all of you volleyers, the people who like to hit lobs, drop shots, all of those feel-oriented touch shots, the spiral fibers are supposed to help you to feel the ball on your string bed a little bit better, to get you better touch on those control shots. So do these new technologies work? Does this racket live up to the hype? Does it bring the boom, as the name suggests? Let's get on the court and find out. So after playtesting both the Boom MP and the Boom Pro for about a week, I came to the conclusion that the Pro is definitely more for me. I kind of knew that going in. I looked at the specs. The MP, I figured at 295 grams or 10.4 ounces unstrung was a little bit too light, and I was right about that. The Pro strung at, 11.1 ounces unstrung, or 310 grams, is exactly the type of weight that I look for in a racket. Also the balance, 310 millimeters. It's very head light, and so I like a head light racket because I can get it over my head faster on the serve. Also the reflex volleys, I play mostly doubles, and so I prefer a headlight racket, but still has a little bit of weight to not get pushed around a lot. Also, both the MP and the Pro have 16 by 19 string patterns, but the MP's string pattern is slightly wider, meaning that the launch angle is higher, and so I felt myself sailing a lot of balls more with the MP than the Pro. To be honest, even the Pro I felt would sail a little bit of balls high at times because I'm used to using an 18 by 20 string pattern, and so I had to adjust a lot, especially on my return of serves, to keep the ball lower than I was used to. But this racket, because of its head lightness, it was so easy to generate racket head speed to get the top spin, to get the ball to dip into the court. The highlight of this playtest for me was definitely my backhand, because of this morph beam technology that they have, especially on the attack backhands returns, I was able to get the ball square in the center of the racket and be able to generate so much pace, especially off the return of serve. So my final thoughts on the new head boom series. Does it bring the boom? I definitely think it does, especially on the ground strokes. I think the new morph beam technology with the wider the wider head face at the 10 and 2 position definitely increases the sweet spot and allows you to really hit some heavy ground strokes. I was a little bit skeptical when I heard that Head was coming out with a new racket, especially after they released the Gravity only a couple years ago. I believe that Head has too many rackets in their lineups. If you look at, for example, Babolat or Yonex, they only have 3 lines of rackets. But the Head, I believe, is a little bit oversaturated. If it were up to me, I would probably get rid of the Instinct line. I think that line is a little bit outdated and unnecessary. I think the Extreme works very well and probably better than the Instinct. Also, the Prestige line is kind of a dying breed of racket. You don't see a lot of players, even professionals these days, using rackets that are meant purely for control. So if it were up to me, I would probably discontinue the Instinct, and I know it's very controversial, but I would probably discontinue the Prestige as well, or maybe reduce the number of rackets in the Prestige line. Maybe just stick with the Pro and the Tour. So was this racket necessary? I don't think it was, but I'm definitely glad that they came out with it, because this is probably my favorite new racket that I've tried in a while. I am contemplating switching to this. We'll see. I'll experiment a little bit more when I have the time and money to try new string setups. The Head Boom Pro and the MP. The Pro is definitely more for me, more for, I believe all of you advanced players out there would like the Boom Pro more because of its weight. But the MP is also very solid. If you're looking for a racket that gets easy power, easy spin, that's easy to maneuver at 10.4 ounces, very manageable weight, I think the MP is also a very solid choice. So, Head Boom, good job. Thank you for stopping by OpenCourt. If you like this content and you want to see more like it, be sure to overhead smash that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on the court.